Hi, I'm Tim Showalter. I'm one of the trainers here at Canup Kennels. Today we're going to go over how to use the transmitter and e-collar. Uh, you have two dogs, so you're going to have one transmitter that directs both e-collars. The first thing we're going to go over is how to turn this on. The transmitter is always on. You don't have to turn it on with any button. You just have to keep it charged up. The only time it uses battery power is when you use stimulation. So this is already on. You do have to turn on the e-collar, and how you do that is there is a red dot on the back of the transmitter, and you'll also see on the collars there's also a red dot there. So what you do is you just match them up. This has a little it's pointed out, and then there's an indentation on the e-collars, and so you just put them together, and as soon as you put them together it starts blinking green, and that lets you know that it's on. So I'm going to do that to both collars, and it's kind of tough to see because of the sunlight out here, but that turns them on. Now that they're on, we're going to demonstrate how to put them on your dog. I'm going to use my wrist as an example, and you're going to want to tighten up the buckle, and you're going to want it tight enough to where these two prongs are touching the skin, but not too tight that they're having trouble breathing. You want to be able to slip two fingers underneath the collar and be able to pull them in and out comfortably, and that's how it lets you know that it's on correctly. If you're dialing it up with stimulation and you notice that it's just not getting any reposition to try to get those electrodes, those prongs, touching their skin. Okay, now we're going to go over how to use it. The first thing we're going to do is show you the functionality of the transmitter. You'll see that the collars are both black and orange, so they correspond to the color. You'll see there's 4 buttons on here, and the ones on the front is a vibrate button. So if correspond the black button to the black collar, press it, it vibrates. I don't know if you can hear that or not, but that's just an added function if you want to add an extra command to your dog, and instead of using the low sensitivity stimulation, you can use a vibrate. For the recall, we have used low sensitivity stimulation, and the stimulation, well, first let me go over here. You'll see a toggle switch up top, and it has an N and a C. That stands for Nick and then continuous. So if I just want to do one stimulation, I can put it on that N for Nick button, and I can hold it down as long as, forever, and it's only gonna just do a Nick. It's only gonna do one little stimulation. Now if you switch that toggle switch down and you go to stimulate, it's going to continuously stimulate. And most of the time when we're recalling our dog with low stimulation, we're gonna hold that button until they turn and start coming towards us, then we're going to let off. So you can probably want to keep it on continuation just to hold it down until they turn and see you and come back. The last functionality of the transmitter you can see is there's this little dial wheel, and it's numbered. It goes from 0 to 100, and that's the sensitivity. So we trained dogs with both positive stimulation and negative stimulation. So with your dog, we've had it between between 5 and 10 for the low stimulation, and if they ignore that, we can just, it's very simple to rotate our thumb and go up in level until they uh, acknowledge you and start coming back, and then you'll let off. And you need to constantly be evaluating which level you want to work with, because sometimes what's usually a 5 they might start to ignore, and you have to go up to a 20. So when you're setting the stimulation, it goes from a 0 to 100. Most of for a low stimulation, it's going to be between a 5 and a 10. But you need to always be evaluating their sensitivity. When they, if you start out at a 5 and they ignore you, you can just simply rotate your thumb and start slowly going up in stimulation, and they might suddenly verbalize or flinch, and that's too much. That you want them to where they just acknowledge you. You don't want any verbalization or any flinching. So then you'll have to start back and go back to, say, a 4 or 5. And every day is going to be different. What might work one day might not work at that level the next day. So you want to constantly be monitoring how they're reacting to the e-collar. And that's it. All right, we're going to go over just the things we've been working on the past few weeks with training with the dogs. We've got Bubbles here. As you can see, Bubbles is a very energetic, very loving dog. He can either sit or lay down. We don't discriminate against, we'll take a sit or a lay down, both the same. So he's being very calm right now in a lay down position. First thing we're going to go over is we're kind of going to repeat some of the steps for putting on the e-collar. Again, the e-collar is always on. We're going to turn on the collar, and I'm going to touch those two buttons together, and I'm just going to test it by using the front button, which is the vibrate button, and I'm hitting it and I can feel it vibrate, so I know it's on and I know it's working. I'm going to double check my settings. I'm going to put Bubbles at about a 4. That's been what he's been working well out, and we're gonna see how he responds to that low level. I'm gonna put it on I don't know what you'd call it, the square part, where the transmitter is, or where the e-collar is. We're gonna put that under his neck. Let's see. And we're going to buckle it up. And again, very important, we want to set the right tension. So we want to know that it's touching his neck. But we don't want it too tight. I can get 2 fingers under there, and I know he's not uncomfortable. And it's done, and we're all good. Let me recall him. Bubbles came right to me. I let off as soon as when we tried again. I might go up a little bit. Bubbles, come here. Come here. go. It was a little slow, but that was perfect. Bubbles, sit. Okay. Now we're gonna go to a heel, and when we tell a dog to sit, we want them to sit until we release them. So Bubbles is sitting down, being a good dog. We're gonna praise Bubbles for being good. Bubbles sometimes takes treats, sometimes doesn't. Responds really well with love. So we're gonna see if Bubbles takes a cracker, and he did. Good job, Bubbles. Okay, we're gonna start out at heel, and I'm gonna release Bubbles by using the word okay, and just start walking. Bubbles will. We want Bubbles on our left side. You can change that if you want it to be on the right side, but it needs to be consistent. It needs to always be the same. So, okay, we're gonna start walking. And I'm gonna do a change of direction. Bubbles. And you want your dog to be keying on you, be focused on you and your movements and which direction you're going if you change directions. Bubbles, every dog is different. I'm gonna put them in a sit now. Sit. Bubbles, sit. You can see I went up an octave because Bubbles wasn't paying attention. Bubbles, like I said, every dog is different. Bubbles responds very well to verbal commands. So some dogs respond very well to leash pressure or e-collar. You just have to find out how your dog is, your dog's personality, what makes them tick. So with Bubbles, you're gonna have to learn how to be nice and sweet. Hey, good dog, and bring those octaves down. Sit. Good dog. Good dog. How to be loving. Bring the octaves down for reward. For when they're not obeying, you need to step it up a notch. That can be tough for some soft-spoken people. I'm a guy. I have a real boisterous, loud voice, so I can go up, and it's no problem for me. But it's all things that you might have to work on being the owner. So we're gonna do that again. We're gonna go back and forth, and I'm gonna bring Bubbles back to a sit. But I want you to focus on how he's focusing on me, because that's what you want. You want to have them looking at you, watching your movements, and we'll get started. And I'm going to release Bubbles. Okay. See, he's looking at me. Come on, Bubbles. I gave just a little bit of a leash pop, but what really works with Bubbles is calling Bubbles' name. If you need to, like I said, verbal correction, that's what motivates Bubbles. Bubbles, come on. Sit. And you might have noticed right there, Bubbles was on my wrong side. If you need to call Bubbles, you can call his name. But if he starts getting either too far away from you or trying to get on the wrong side, a simple that'll that's a way to get on them in a verbal way, and he responds well to that. So we've got him in a sit position. I'm going to leave him in a sit position. We're going to go on to recall, and I'm sorry, we're going to go on to the sit stay, and then we're going to recall Bubbles. So I'm going to start stepping back. Like we said, when you tell them to sit, they need to stay at a sit until we recall them. Now I'm going to hit his transmitter, and as soon as he comes back to me, I'm going to call his name also at the same time as I hit the transmitter. Bubbles! As soon as you saw him pop up, that was probably the e-collar. He felt that, and he jumped up, and he came back, and he automatically went to a sit. That is perfect. We are going to love on Bubbles because he did good. Good job. All right, let's try it one more time. Sit. You can see again, I took my octaves up. Didn't have to use the e-collar or pull on the leash. A simple will do it. Now I'm going to use the e-collar again. Same thing. Here, come here, Bubbles. Come to me. I'm stepping back. Up. Come on. Sit. Bubbles, sit. Good dog. We're going to love on Bubbles. That was good. That was very good. I wanted to say, up. Come here, Bubbles. Sit. Sit. I just pushed on his butt just a little bit. He wasn't listening. Give him the sensation of what I want him to do. Forgot where I was going. But oh, I know what I was going to say. Sometimes when you're recalling, it's good to step back when you're calling. Come here, come here, come here, Bubbles. Sit. In your training sessions, when on recall, you might want to try that sometimes. It helps. It makes them excited, and you're using a loving voice, and it's good. They love that. All right, I'm gonna come back over here. Come on, Bubbles. Sit. Bubbles, sit. Good dog. Good dog. All right, finally, we're gonna go to the place position. This command is good. Sometimes you have excitable dogs, and when company comes over, you want a command you can go to that settles them down, that keeps them from jumping or being too boisterous. This is a good one. Either sit or sit on place is great for that. So what we've got is something that's a place. So we've got a mat. Now it can be a mat, it can be a cot, it can be a blanket, it can be a towel, it can be anything you make it, but that's going to be where you tell them to go and sit and hopefully lay down, and it calms them down. All right, so I'm going to call Bubbles to me. Bubbles! And I'm going to say the command place. Bubbles, place. Come here. Place. Sit. Oh, and he laid down. That's perfect. We've tried it on different things. We have a cot, we have this mat, and when we tell Bubbles to go to place, we want this to be comfortable for them, like like a human when it goes to bed. We want it to be, you know, a place of refuge, a place where we can calm down, and that's what the place command is. You can see Bubbles is just laying down and just enjoying the good weather, the sun out here, and um, that's pretty much it. Thank you. All right, now we've got Pudge, and this is gonna be review, but I decided I'm gonna switch to the different collar. This is gonna be a black collar. We're gonna turn it on. All right, we're gonna test it by vibrate, and it's on. And again, I'm gonna put that underneath his head and measure. I can feel 2 fingers in there. See, he's not freaking out or anything. It's comfortable with him. And we're gonna love on him. That's a good boy. We want him to be very comfortable with the e-collar and not you know, freak out or anything when we put it on. Pudge is a different dog than Bubbles. Bubbles did very well with verbal communication. Pudge, he's a bigger dog. He's very strong, very muscular, and you're gonna have to learn how to use leash pressure. We're gonna tell him to sit. Pudge, sit. I gave him a firm tug on that collar with the leash, and you might have to do both. You might have to go up an octave with your verbal commands, give him a quick tug on the leash, and again, he's just a different dog. He's just as loving, but he's a little bit more mellow. But Bubbles is up there in excitement. Pudge is just a chill dog, but different. He's, like I said, bigger dog, stronger dog. It's going to take some muscle to get him to do what you want him to do. We're going to do the same thing. He's in a sit. He's doing great. I'm going to love on him. He's a little bit more treat motivated. I'm going to give him a treat. And I'm going to release him and start walking at heel. Pudge, okay. He's a little distracted. We're out in the grass. Usually we're walking on the gravel. He's sniffing around, a lot of different scents. But so he's not quite focused on me as much. I'm gonna change direction. He turned with me. That was good. As soon as I turned around, he didn't necessarily turn right away, but he turned his head. He was like, "Where are you going? What are you doing?" And then as I gave him a little bit of a tug on the collar, come on. He responded well with the verbal command right there. Come on, Pudge. Come on. Come on. I had to muscle him right there with the collar. He's trying to get on my right side. We're going to keep him on my left. Now he's walking. I'm barely holding on to the leash. It's just all about the corrections. Pudge. Went up a level with my voice. That got his attention. There. Hardly holding on to the leash. I changed directions. He's following right on my side. I'm gonna come back. Pudge, sit. Good dog. Good dog. That was real quick on the sit. That's good. Sometimes you got to do it a couple times. You don't want to do it a bunch of times. If he goes after 2 times, you want to go with the leash pop and you know, give him a good firm pull with the leash, and that should help out. But sometimes he could be very methodical. Again, different dog. You know, you gotta change with the personality. And so he's at a sit position. Next thing we're gonna do is do the sit stay. I'm gonna back away from him, and I'm gonna recall him with the e-collar and my voice. Again, I've got it set at about a 10. Black collar, black button. Pudge, come here. Come on. Ah, I'm gonna call him back. Pudge, come here. Come here. Come on. Come on. There you go. That's a good boy. Sit. Let's reward that. A little bit more methodical dog. Got to work with him a little bit more, but he did what we wanted him to do. We're going to pet on him and love on him. That's good. Good boy. Let's try it one more time. Sit. Went up with but did a verbal command there. I hit the e-collar. Pudge, come here. Come here. Right away. Barely pushed the button, and he came. Now he's going away. We're going to hit it one more time and call him. Pudge, come here. Come here. Sit. And he sat right away. That's a good boy. Good boy. All right. We're going to go to the place. Again, like I explained with Bubbles, this is a great command to have him chill out. It should be a safe and comfortable place for him to be. So I'm going to walk him at a heel over to the place and make him sit down. Hopefully he'll lay down. Pudge, come on. Come on, buddy. Position. I'm gonna see if I can make him go down. I got a treat. Down. Come here. You want to go down, don't you? There we go. Come on. Come on. He's focused on me. He wants to lick me in the face. I'm gonna just drop it right there. He's in a sit position. He's relaxed. He's comfortable. We're not going to push it too far. Go into the lay down position. We'll take like we said at the beginning, we'll take a sit or a lay down, both the same. But that's good. I'm gonna do it one more time. Come on, Pudge. We're gonna walk around. I'm gonna put him back on place. Come on, buddy, place. Attaboy, sit. All right. He sat right down. That's perfect. That's it. Okay, finally, we're going to go over heel, but this time we're going to do it with both dogs. We've got Pudge and Bubbles here. We've got them both at a sit or a lay down position. And one of the things you said in your notes is that Bubbles and Pudge key off each other and get really wound up, and we want to bring that down. We want to have them be a more chill dog and not key on each other so much. This is one of the ways to do it. I think, you know, if possible every day, you should walk them both together and get them used to not keying on each other so much. Walk it heel, Pudge, sit. Walk it heel for a little while and then make them both sit down. You can see we both got them at a sit stay, and they're focused on me instead of on each other, which is good. Okay, I'm gonna get in position. Bubbles, come on, heel. Bubbles likes to get on the outside and likes to kind of pull a little bit. We're going to change directions. Bubbles. And it's kind of a two-ring circus. You've got two personalities. You've got Bubbles, who you need to verbally get on, and you've got Pudge, who you need to physically get on. So they're doing pretty good. And they'll get better. Come on. Yeah, that's really good. I'm hardly holding on. I'm walking. They're not keyed on each other. I'm going to go down, come back, and put them in a sit position. Come on. Bubbles. Come on, Pudge. Gonna redirect. Pudge is getting out a little ahead. I'm gonna give him a little pull with the collar. Now, sit. Bubbles, sit. Pudge sat. Bubbles, sit. Good. Good. That's exactly what we want to see. They're chill. They're focused on me, and they're not keying off each other. We're gonna give just a little pet. We don't want to get them overexcited. If we get all frantic and lovey-dovey, sometimes they can get them hyped up. So we want to just calm, one little pet. Here you go, Bubble, sit. There we go, good. Like I said, just a little pet, and that's enough.